Hi everyone, it's Miss McConnell, and I have my best reading pal here and friend. This is Cho-Cho, and Cho-Cho, give me a high five. He is a very good boy, and he's going to hang out with us while we read, so I thought that might be special since we are at home. So, we have been reading one of my favorite books from when I was a kid called Wayside Stories from Wayside School. And as you know, this school was built incorrectly. What was wrong with the way this school was built? It has 30 classrooms. Well, instead of them being horizontal and all laid out flat, the builder made a mistake and built each classroom on top of the last. So there are 30 stories. Each floor is a classroom. And we have been spending some time meeting some characters. And yeah, so we are on chapter 8 about Myron. So here's a picture of Myron, so you guys can see him. All right, 8, Myron. Myron had big ears. He was elected class president. The children in Mrs. Jewell's class expected him to be a good president. Other presidents were good speakers. Myron was even better. He was a good listener. But he had a problem. He didn't know what a class president was supposed to do. So he asked, "What am I supposed to do?" "It's a difficult job," said Mrs. Jules, "but you can do it. You must learn to turn the lights on every morning and turn them off at the end of the day." "What?" asked Myron. "As class president, you must learn to listen," said Mrs. Jules. "I'll repeat myself only one more time. You must turn the lights on every morning." "I heard you the first time," said Myron. "It just doesn't sound like much of a job." "It certainly is," said Mrs. Jules. "Without light, I can't teach, and the children can't learn. Only you can give us that light. Only you can give us that light. I think it is a very important job." "I guess so," said Myron. He wasn't convinced. "Here, let me show you how a light switch works," said Mrs. Jules. "I already know how," said Myron. "I've been turning lights on and off all my life." "Very good," said Mrs. Jules. "You'll make a fine president." Myron wanted to be the best president ever, but it was such an easy job, he thought that anybody could do it. When school let out that day, Myron stayed behind. He turned out the lights by flicking the switch down. "Excellent," said Mrs. Jules. On his way home, Myron heard a horrible noise. First, there was a loud screeching, then a sharp squeal, a roaring engine, and then the very faint sound of a girl crying. Myron ran to see what had happened. Dana was bent over in the middle of the road. "What's the matter?" asked Myron. "My dog Pugsy was hit by a car," Dana cried. "Who did it?" asked Myron. "I don't know," Dana sobbed. "They sped away." "Well, that's not important," said Myron. "We've got to try to save Pugsy." Pugsy lay unconscious in the street. Myron carefully picked her up. He carried her 2 miles to the vet. Dana cried at his side. "Don't worry, Dana," said Myron. "She'll be all right." But he really wasn't so sure. He gave Pugsy to the vet and walked Dana home, then walked home himself. Dana was so upset she forgot to thank him. Myron didn't mind. He thought that was what being a class president was all about. The next morning, before he went to school, Myron went to Dana's house. Pugsy was there. She seemed all right. Dana petted her. Pugsy licked her face. "See, Myron, she's all right," said Dana. The vet said that you brought her just in time." "Hi, Pugsy," said Myron. He petted her. Pugsy bit his hand. I guess she doesn't know you," said Dana. "She was unconscious yesterday when you saved her life." Dana's mother put some medicine and a Band-Aid on Myron's hand. Then she drove the children to school. They were late. They ran up the stairs to Mrs. Jewell's class. The room was completely dark. "It's about time you got here, Myron," said Mrs. Jules. "We have no lights." "Why didn't somebody else just turn them on?" asked Myron. "Because you're class president," said Mrs. Jules. "Show Stephen how to work the lights. From now on, He will be class president. Myron showed Stefan how to turn on the lights. He flicked the switch up. At the end of the day, Myron showed Stefan how to turn the lights off. He flicked the switch down. After a week, Stefan finally caught on. He made a good president. The lights were on every morning. Myron, who was president for only a day, was the best president in the history of Wayside School. It was just that nobody knew it. All right, guys, we'll read one more. This is chapter 9, Mauricia. Mauricia liked ice cream. She was sweet and pretty and could beat up any boy in Mrs. Jewell's class. Everybody liked Mauricia, except Kathy, but then she didn't like anybody. Mauricia only liked ice cream. Every day, Mauricia brought an ice cream cone to school and kept it in her desk until lunchtime. Did that work? At first, she brought chocolate ice cream every day, but soon she tired of chocolate ice cream, so she started bringing vanilla. But she got tired of vanilla too. Then she got tired of strawberry, fudge ripple, butter pecan, pistachio, and burgundy cherry in that order. And then a terrible thing happened. Mauricia got tired of ice cream. By that time, her desk was a mess, and everything in it was sticky. Everybody liked Mauricia, but Mauricia didn't like anything. Mrs. Jules hated to see Mauricia unhappy. "I don't understand it, Mrs. Jules," cried Mauricia. "There just aren't any good flavors anymore." So, Mrs. Jules worked all night. The next day, she brought in a new flavor of ice cream for Mauricia. It was Mauricia flavored ice cream. "Everybody will like it," thought Mrs. Jules, "because everybody likes Mauricia." "Here you are, Mauricia," said Mrs. Jules. "Mauricia flavored ice cream." Everybody gathered around as Mauricia tasted it. They hoped she liked it. Mauricia took a lick. "Well?" said Mrs. Jules. Mauricia took another lick. "Well?" asked the class. "This ice cream has no taste," said Mauricia. "It doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like anything at all." Mrs. Jules was heartbroken. "Here, let me try it," said Todd. He tasted it. "You're crazy, Mauricia," he said. "This is the best tasting ice cream I've ever eaten. Try some, Dee Dee." It's delicious," said Dee Dee. "It's so sweet and creamy." She passed it around the room. "Oh, it is so good," said Leslie. "I think it tastes terrible," said Kathleen. "I don't understand it," said Mauricia. "I don't taste a thing." Mrs. Jules slapped herself in the face. "Oh, I've made a big mistake, Mauricia. Of course you can't taste anything. It's Mauricia flavored ice cream. It's the same taste you always taste when you're not tasting anything at all." So the next day, Mrs. Jules brought in Joe flavored ice cream. Mauricia liked it. So did everybody else. Joe thought it had no taste. Everybody liked Mauricia. Mauricia only liked Joe. The following day, Mrs. Jules brought in Ron flavored ice cream. Ron thought it had no taste, but everybody else loved it. Everybody liked Mauricia. Mauricia only liked Joe and Ron. By the end of the month, Mrs. Jules had brought in 27 new flavors of ice cream, one for each member of the class. Everybody liked Mauricia, and Mauricia liked everybody. They all tasted so good. All except Kathy, that is. Kathy flavored ice cream tasted a little bit like Old Bologna. Everyone still agreed that Mauricia flavored ice cream was the best, except Mauricia. She liked Todd ice cream the best. This turned out to be a problem. Every once in a while, Mauricia would try to take a bite out of Todd's arm in order to get that very special flavor. All right, guys, that ends today. We just finished 2 chapters of Wayside Stories from Wayside School. And I would love to see what you think the school looks like. There's kind of an illustration on the back. It has 30 stories, but remember, we're missing one. You guys remember what number of stories missing? It's chapter 19. And that was, we found that out in chapter 7 when Mrs. Jules asked Calvin to bring a message to Miss Zarves, who taught on the 19th floor. Only there is no 19th floor. So, however you want to draw it, Wayside School, I would love to see it. Since our school is a little bit wayside right now with our virtual learning, We are having so much fun with you guys, and I can't wait to see you again. Take care.